Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. I want to welcome you to my weekly Wildcard Wednesday video on my blog and YouTube channel. The card designs I share today are a little more technique driven, but nothing too complicated. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you shop with me. Hello friends! For today's card, I'm going to use a very teeny tiny little stamp out of the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set. But today I'm basically going to give the blending brushes a run for their money. I haven't really done like a review on them yet, so I wanted to make a rainbow card. I have my non-porous surface here and I've washi taped it to my desk so that my desk doesn't get icky. Messes cause oopsies, and you will notice how I oopsied in this card. So this is sped up 2 times, and I wanted to share with you how I initially start off with the blending brushes. So I tap the brush on the ink first, and then I tap off on a little spare piece of paper there. I just want to find out how much ink I have on the brush. Lighter colors, I don't do that very much, like this Daffodil Delight. I didn't do it because I know it's a lighter color and it's not going to come on so strongly. But the red, the real red, and pumpkin pie, oh my. So they can come on pretty strongly. So I kind of wanted to find out where that ink lived on the brush. And as you can see that they are domed. That means that if I rub them back and forth, they on the ink pad, that some of the ink's going to get on the edges and not where I need it, which is on the dome of the brush. All right, so I moved into Daffodil Delight, and then now I am with Granny Apple Green. So I'm kind of going very bright colors. And I cut some of this out because it is it can be boring if you're, already pretty good at blending. I made a little mistake with my fingernail. I don't know exactly when it happened or how it happened, to be honest, but there's that little red mark. So after the green, I wiped down my non-porous surface. So my little laminated grid mat here, and then I went on with the blue. I didn't want the blue to become purple, and I didn't want it to, mix with the red too much. And I'm just going to have to put the sentiment or some of the jewels or whatever I'm going to use later over top of my little whoopsie. And this is a really good lesson for me to be reminded that I need to clean up my area, especially when you're dealing with inks, because they can get everywhere. Fingerprints are not funny. So I have a Post-it note. You can see I have the sticky part up on my fingernails. So my fingers are stuck to the Post-it note, so I'm not going to create any finger marks or anything like that, hopefully. My little baby finger, you never know. It's kind of hanging out there. I don't think I did, though. And then I used a Stampin' Spritzer, kind of half depressed it. It was just had water in it. And I went to town. I spritzed this paper, and then I opened it and used the little plastic tube in the spritzer, and I flick that, sometimes quite hard, over my this is a take your pick tool. So I was embracing my mixed media techniques, and I haven't used or done any mixed media in years. I have all the things. I just don't have time. Like, I don't have time for a hobby anymore. I bought a paint by numbers when we were in lockdown about 6 months ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, this will be really good to do. I seriously did not have time to even do that. So it's hanging up there haunting me saying, when are you going to do me, Sue? Anyway, moving on. So I've cut this little piece down. And I had a whole bunch of strips of vellum, and I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with these little strips of vellum? And I don't know if you know me, but I'm not a hoarder. I want to use things up. I don't just, you know, stuff them away. I have nowhere to stuff things away. So I'm trying to use some of my products that I have for a long time. I'm trying to use them up. And obviously I had cut down little strips of vellum. So you can see what I'm doing here. I put Stampin' Seal Plus on the back side of my, that was just basic white card actually. It wasn't even the thick stuff, it's the thin stuff. And I use my grid mat here to align my vellum. And then bone fold, of course, and I need to make sure that there's no bulk. So I went in with my paper snips here, and I've mentioned about how sharp they are. And look at that, I'm wielding them like Edward Scissorhands. And then I made sure that things were aligned correctly on the front. And then I flipped it around, added more dry adhesive, used my table here to wrap the vellum around and adhere down to the dry adhesive. I'm not cutting any of this out so that you can see how easy it was to do a look like this. So sometimes your background might overtake everything, and this might be a unique way of dulling your background down a little bit. I didn't have to do this. I could have just left it and that would have been fine, but I kind of like the look of it and I wanted to use up some product, and I adhered this to a basic white thick card base and made sure that my bone folder was in there. You know what? I used the heated dryer, just the dryer on the heat tool, and that didn't warp at all. So I'm pretty impressed about how it's not too hot. So this comes from the Many Messages dies, and I have an online class right now dealing with this amazing product. And a little insider tip, there's a new there's a new product coming in that's going to match that die. So I encourage you, if you're Canadian, shop with me so that you can stretch your supplies. It's bundle priced right now, so you're not going to get that with the new catalog coming out. Anyway, I stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I put dimensionals on the back side of that little strip. I love the fact that we have a die that cuts out so many different little strips. You don't have to use the stamp set. You can use just it to cut little strips like this. Amazing. Yeah, and then I went in with, this is the Elegant Faceted Gems. I cannot love these things more. I have many packages. This is probably like my 30th package. I love these little facets. They are so pretty. I do like the rhinestones too, so it was like a toss-up between which one I was going to use, but I just used the clear faceted ones. So fun. Had to move a couple because I didn't like where they were. And that is my funky, weird, different card for you today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you again soon. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.